Hi, good morning and welcome to our meditation. Today is the 4th of May. I will meditate again, read again. Revelation chapter 7, verse 11. All the angels were standing around the throne and around the elders and the four living creatures. They fell down on their faces before the throne and worshipped God. And today I will meditate on Psalm 9 verses 1 to 2, where David says, I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. Half a heart is not a heart at all for God. It has to be whole. If it's not whole, it's not worthy of God. We cannot serve God with half a heart. It has to be all my life, all my thoughts, all my love, everything to God. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. So when they praised God, they praised God because God delivered them from Egypt, from slavery. God set them free. God helped them in time of need. But you could also thank God for the sunset, for the wonderful sea near that is actually where you live, for the countryside where you live. Wonderful deeds, everything that God has done. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing the praises of your name, O Most High. I will be glad and rejoice in you. Paul keeps on telling the church in his time that church should be clothed in God's righteousness, should be covered with Christ's righteousness. Our joy comes from the Lord. And David is going to express that in Psalm 13, verses 5 and 6. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praises, for he has been good to me. I will rejoice. His joy was in God himself. Not in things, not in himself, not in the authority he had as a king, but in God himself. When our heart is fully for God, we will trust in him at all times. Psalm 16 verse 2, David says, I say to the Lord, you are my Lord. Apart from you, I have no good thing. I have nothing at all apart from you. That's why David found this amazing way of praising and worshiping God, because he had to put his trust in God. He trusted God, and he was a man according to God's heart. He was not perfect, and we know that, but he had a heart for God. And when he sinned, he went back to God and asked for forgiveness. And you can read that in his Psalms. So we can be that sort of person with a full heart for God. God is not our religion. God is our life. We depend on him. We belong to him. We were created for his glory, to glorify his name. And that's where we find a meaning to our lives, is when we find meaning to our lives, when we realize that we were created for God. We were created for his glory. And that's why we are not always happy. It's because we think that God is there to give us things. God is there to be our God, to be our only life, our everything. I have nothing, he says, no good thing apart from you. God bless you.